I'm Weather 2020 meteorologist Gary Lezak. A lot going on today. We'll talk about the tropics. We have a major Hurricane Franklin and possibly a major Hurricane Idalia that's going to be heading towards the northeast Gulf of Mexico and northwestern Florida, as predicted by the LRC. Interesting story there. I'll tell you about that. And we're going to look at the model. So the LRC model, there's only 4 to 5 more weeks left. A brand new, unique pattern that's never happened before is about to set up, but not yet. We're still in the same pattern. September version about to begin. All right, let me take you through this and show you what's going on. We can go to full screen on here and we'll go through the details. And of course, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. So the September predictions and Hurricane Idalia and Hurricane Franklin as well on this August 28th update. Let's go back. Do you remember what happened just about a week ago? Remember this? Tropical Storm Hillary took a track. We predicted that it would likely track near where there was a tornado in East Los Angeles. It is not a coincidence. We predicted it, and the hurricane, with the remnants of it, the tropical storm version of it, went right over the top of Montebello, California, just east of downtown Los Angeles. So that's a week ago. Let's fast forward to right now, and you can see there is Hurricane Franklin. Look at this thing off to the east there. Major hurricane, almost a Category 5 hurricane, affecting surf along the east coast with rip currents and possibly affecting Bermuda. So major hurricane, fortunately, out to sea. But here is intensifying Hurricane Idalia, and it's a little farther to the east, near the Cuba tip than the models were saying, but still it's targeting this area that we predicted and picked out in March as a possible target location. So this is one of our targets for the season. And now here it is forming. So our model, this is the LRC model. This is very important, everyone, because the LRC model predicts that it would be 150 to 200% of average rainfall in this region, sort of stretching from southwest to northeast, right? The last year's Hurricane Ian predicted this area, and it ended up being a little farther south. This will probably end up being a little farther south too, but when you see these high precipitation areas near the coast in the tropics, Florida, the Gulf Coast, and the southeast coast of the United States, it gives us a strong hint, and we made a prediction that it would happen. In fact, let's go back to cycle 4 or 5 of this year's pattern. I'm trying to think of which cycle that was, but one of those 4 or 5 cycle, you can see this. Look at that. There is what the National Hurricane Center said was not a tropical storm. It didn't even look like it, they said. Well, I think you and I both know there had been something weird going on there, because it certainly looks like it. And at that point, we predicted that this may be coming right in around the end of August or early September. And there has been other hints of this part of the pattern. There was a strong low in the most powerful part of the weather pattern on December 22nd, February 12th, another one, that May 27th one you just saw. So we picked this area out because there was another indication right in here, and it's literally going to take this track and be over one of these spots or nearby. As you can see, a major hurricane now in the forecast. Right in this red area is where we predicted. Look at this. Right in here, we turned that red after reanalysis. I'm like, wait a second. It isn't the least likely spot. Right in here, and if you look, that is exactly where it's tracking. You can't make this up. That's where it's heading with the hurricane warnings, and we added this in March, 6 months ago, 5 months ago. It's April, May, June, July, August. You got over 5 months ago. Pretty incredible. So once again, this triggers the potential for a tropical storm prediction. Let's look at the model now as we go from September 10th to October 7th. All right, September 10th to October 7th. There's 3 areas that have this. So we'll watch this area in Florida. That's one of our signature forecasts. So we'll see if one of them comes in there. And then this one near the North Carolina, South Carolina coast. And then, well, what is this as you get close to Louisiana? Well, we have to watch because September 29th is a spike of over that 150 mark, and maybe September 12th too for that whole region. So let's go look at that a little bit farther west. As we get to Louisiana, notice how really there's a spot here in Alabama, the western tip of the Florida Panhandle, has to monitor September 10th, October 7th closely. South Texas, and even though this shows it inland over Louisiana, that could be on the coast. So this could be the remnants of a tropical system that actually hit the coast, even though it shows it right here. 3 possible areas for tropical activity, October 7th at the end and September 10th at the beginning. For our model predictions, all right, so you farmers out there, from North Dakota and South Dakota to Minnesota and Wisconsin up north, near average temperatures. The hotter weather will continue down south through most of September. Above average rainfall up here, near to above average rainfall, not nearly what it was at the beginning of spring, but not nearly as dry as it was. We're expecting a few fronts and a chance of thunderstorms in the second half of September. Below average rainfall for Kansas and parts of Texas into Oklahoma. The LRC right now, you can see that. Let's go back to that and pick out Louisiana again. Heavy rain in Louisiana, as you can see there, and maybe not as much on the coast, but I'm telling you, this anomaly could be farther south. So right now, the LRC is in the 7th cycle of this year's pattern. Every year, a unique pattern sets up in October and November. It cycles, repeats over and over again, and then as soon as we get to the end of September, we're going to go back to the beginning, and a pattern that we've never experienced before will be evolving. It's absolutely fascinating. So Weather 2020 has cracked the code of long-range weather prediction. Predicting these tropical systems is only a symptom of what we can do for the entire world out there. All right, these hurricanes are right on schedule, and the active season is in progress as predicted for the tropics. The LRC has 3 to 4 weeks left before a strong transition begins. The new LRC will set up around the end of the first week of October, so that's just 5 weeks away. Between now and then, more of the same. More of the same. So there's your update. Thank you for watching and listening. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you're new, thank you for joining this premium service. We will really go deeper into your county by county and state by state forecast next season, because we're near the end of this season. That's how the LRC works. It's absolutely fascinating. The winter forecast, likely the first week of December. We'll give you hints. Next week's report will give you some hints for next winter and next year. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Thank you for being such great loyal customers.